We are starting to broadcast. We are starting to broadcast. And Green Frog just made it in. Can you hear
Hey,
me?
Francois. Yep.
I gotta go see the chat and make sure everybody's hearing me also. Now, where's my pop-out chat? There it is. Yes, Vegas, baby. It's almost done. I'm almost on my way back. In 24 hours, I'm going to be back home. I'm actually leaving Vegas tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I don't have much thing to do other than have fun tonight. So Ken says he broke his rear shock. Well, if you don't break anything, that means you're not having fun. Right, Kagan?
Yeah, I don't break much. I'm
Why
pretty
not?
easy. I'm
That,
pretty easy on RCs so far.
oh, or you leave them on the shelf, one or the other.
Both.
I did send everybody a link, but I can paste the other one here in the chat. Here it is. Yes, it was actually a work trip. I came here for my work at Interactive Audiovisual. So it was about audiovisual stuff. So we're more of a broadcast TV stuff that people were showing.
Nice.
Ken says, no shelf queen here. Well, I got one that's kind of a shelf queen, but I did use it in the backyard, but I was very careful. So,
Your Toyota.
yeah. James Swift was there. RC Fun Diversion, Ken, Ilko RC, Basher Boy. What's that?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
You
Bishop.
found a Winnebago.
Yes, I found a Winnebago.
Ooh. Does it have the interior?
Yes, it does.
Good.
It has the interior. It has, everything that a Tonka should have. I'm not gonna say it's in perfect condition, but it's in mint condition.
Yeah, it's hard to
Um,
find one that's in perfect condition, that's for sure.
yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I will say that this vehicle is for sale.
Oh, you're selling it?
Actually, yeah, actually, I found this at a local yard sale, and and I found it at a bargain price. So I mean, I did a latest video on it. I did a little search and rescue video of this Winnebago. Actually, my honcho, the whole story was that the Winnebago was stuck, and the honcho went out there, to go out and recover it with the trailer, and everything fitted well. So, if you guys want to check out that video, feel free.
Nice.
Cool.
Um,
I
but
figured somebody was
yeah,
supplying Bishop Boy Arena. Arena.
yeah. You guys want to check out that video, feel free.
Oh, yeah, Ken, you still have the other feed going in the background.
Evening, Ken.
So, yeah, those of you that are curious, why am I selling, the Winnebago? I know that these vehicles, they're perfect for converting them into RC, and I know Tank, you're one of them. I know you have one RC. But to be honest, I mean, the lack of space is what's mainly why this thing is for sale. Um, and also, I mean, based on what I'm selling it for, this can probably go to another project that I have going on. Um, I'm not gonna say what it is, but I do have other projects here. As far as RC. But I mean, I'm willing to sell this, uh, to have this money go towards, the project that I have. So
Cool. So if anybody's interested, go see RC Basher Boy website and the about. You'll see his email there. So
yes, and I haven't even been slacking it here. Hold on a second. I try to have chat here as well, but So yeah, so how's Vegas, Tank? Tell us all about it.
Lots of walking, lots and lots and lots of walking.
Really?
Yeah. Well, my app on the on the phone, I usually take about. Uh, I get from my house to my car to my car to my office, and then I sit down for the day. And then when I go home, I just go from my car to from work to my car and so on. So I do maybe 1,200 steps a day. Like I don't do a lot. And here, pretty much all 4 days that I was here, I did well over 13,000 steps. So my legs are killing me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
2,000 steps so far. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
4 days.
So my whole week right now is like 40 or 50. Let's see something. For the whole week, it's a lot.
Steve O D is asking, where's the strippers?
They were on this. They were on the strip. They were actually walking. I put up a picture of them. Like they barely have anything, anyways, and they're walking, and they want people to take pictures of them. So far this week, I've 53,757 steps that I've taken. So
Oh, look at that, man.
I've been crazy walking, and I had to buy some Dr. Scholl's stuff to put in my feet because my back is just killing me.
So is the Dr. Scholl's working?
Oh yeah, the last 2 days I had them, and it's night and day. It's night and day.
It's like you're walking on air.
Yeah, well, not on air, but it really helped my back.
That's good.
Cool.
120 for the Winnebago, free shipping all over the U.S. That's about the price of it. If it's in good shape, it's got the interior. That's what everybody's pretty much selling them.
Yes, and I mean, like I said, I mean, it's just I know that's what they are out in the market, and you know, if I get those $120, I mean, like I said, it's just gonna go, you know, on a good project. So I mean, that's the whole point here. I wish I can go in the direction of, you know, making this into a crawler or a little on road or whatever, but you know, honestly, no, I would just have to pass. You know, like for example, I know RC Sparks did one, RC Everyday did one, the Tank, I know you also did one.
Yeah, but you can do one and put your own touch on it.
Yeah, but but I mean, like I said, I have many other vehicles, and I mean, I don't want to spoil this one, but I do have a vehicle that, I mean, I'm not working on it, but I do have plans for it. And actually, it hasn't even been featured on my channel, so I mean, I'll just you know, just keep it that way. But yeah, technically, you know, this money will be going towards, you know, that vehicle that I'm talking about in quotation.
Cool. Stefan from the LED Wheel, I did send you a link on your phone or on Messenger. So, and yes, you can join by phone. That's not a problem. Crystal Justice, how you doing?
Good. How y'all doing today?
Well, if the local flea market has them for $50, that's a pretty good price, that's for sure. I know I seen them in near Quebec. There's a flea market, and they were selling them about $100 Canadian for them. So that's where I saw it. So you're at 150 shipped, and it's US dollars. So that's why I was thinking it was about right price. But hey, whoever wants one, that's what they're going to pay. But check eBay. There's a bunch on eBay. I know that for a fact.
And actually, if you do check on eBay, like I did, see, the mostly thing is when you have an eBay account, a certain percentage eBay, you know, takes away from that transaction, and then also the shipping cost. that's what also kills it. So that's why they're over $200. So, but hey, I mean here, I'm shipping it all over United States, and all I'm asking is
Well,
for 120. So
I got Stefan on online here. He's on my phone, but you're supposed to click on the link, Steph.
I did.
That's weird, and it brought him here.
that's
How are you in the chat? Because I don't know. Because you answered it, I don't know how come you're in the chat. There's a bunch of people in this chat.
Somebody's trying to get on. I think they tried to call me too. They're trying to.
Yeah, I know it's weird. I don't know. It started ringing and I answered.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Later.
We're having technical difficulties. So, Steph, you actually clicked the link and it brought you there. That's odd. You can try clicking the link on the side in the chat, but that usually does not work because you have YouTube open on your phone. You can actually try that. I'll paste it again. I'll remove the other one that was there. The other way, an email.
So Tank, you mind if I say a little story here?
As long as it's not about Spectrum.
No. It's totally different. So those of you that have been following my channel, I have the Glamisphere on tour, and right now it's at Wayne and Honey Lulu's channel. So apparently they pulled a really, really bad prank on me.
Oh.
Okay.
About honey dipping, I think it was.
Yes, yeah, and here's the thing. Obviously I do have a group, that is involved on the tour. So we all, talk, and we get together, and we talk about what's going to be the next video, or what's the next schedule on the vehicle and stuff like that. So everybody's on page, on point on what's next for the car. And Honey Lulu just kept insisting and insisting and insisting, hey, I'm gonna honey dip your car, and I'm gonna honey dip your car.
I think we all were encouraging her.
And yes, and so I get this notification right on my phone, and it's like, hey Gabriel, well stay tuned for this awesome honey dip. And I'm like, and I told her like nicely, well, sweetheart, hopefully it's not my Glamisphere that you're honey dipping, but I'll definitely be tuned in. So next thing you know, the video came out, and turns out it was the body panels of my Vatera Glamisphere. So I'm over here looking at this, video, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, Jesus, they honey dipped, and I was just thinking, like, oh, who am I gonna ship these panels to? So I'm thinking over here, it's like going nuts, and so yeah, it turns out that Axiomatic bought extra panels, for them to honey dip, the Glamisphere. So it was man.
Did you really think they were dipping your car?
Yes.
Because I checked in right when they started. I had to go someplace, so I didn't stay very long. If I would have known it was only going to be a short video, my girlfriend could have waited that long. But I looked at it, I think those are different body panels because there was no red on them.
They were already primered.
No, it's because they primered them. Okay, they primered them. Okay, so I thought they were the original panels on there. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh my God, and like I was mad and sad at the same time. Like, oh my God, I have nothing bad against Honey Lulu. She does really awesome on her honey dips and stuff like that. But I did insist her, like, hey, you know what? Please don't honey dip my Glamisphere. I really like the red on there. I'll send you a body, so you can honey dip it, but please not this car. But I mean, long story short, I mean, Axiomatic purchased, separate body panels, and they just,
cool
primered. Huh?
That was pretty cool of them.
Yes, yeah, and and I do appreciate it, and I know that
And it was
Honey,
funny as hell that they fooled you.
yeah, and see, I know, look, Honey Lulu's here on chat, and I guess she really wanted to hear my reaction and my response. But if she's listening to me live, like, you know what, Honey Lulu, you did got me. It was,
That's
oh
what
man, it
she's
was
saying
so
right now.
intense.
She's saying right now, yes, I got him good. So
Yes, yes, she did.
Sounds like that would have been a great April Fool's joke.
Right?
So, but no, yeah, I mean, as soon as I found out that Axiomatic, got the the extra panels on there, I was just relieved, honestly.
so
And
now you got
Honey,
so
what's
now
that?
you're actually gonna get extra panels, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
actually, as soon as the vehicle comes home, I want to rock those body panels, and I'll go ahead and I'll do a proper video, on those honey dipped panels. So Honey Lulu, appreciate it. You did an awesome job. I really had to go check on that again because I was like,
Had to
oh my
watch it
god, I'm
twice.
cringing. I can't watch this. As soon as I saw that it was, Axiomatic was behind it, and they bought an extra set of body panels, I was, first I was relieved, and second of all, it's just awesome, So, highly appreciate it, Honey Lulu, Wayne. Also, if you're in here, appreciate it. So
Yeah.
now the Glamisphere has a little extra, tick to it, which is the honey dip, and I really, really appreciate it, guys. So, thank you.
Cool.
Extra special sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honey Lulu has extra special sauce. Ha, ha, ha.
Looks like
Sean
blueberry ice.
Seawell's there. How you doing? Robert Barnes, RC and stuff is there. Crystal Justice, Dell, Phil Cole, RC Voodoo. A bunch of people logged in. Thanks for coming in, guys. Yeah, I didn't have time to watch that video. I did get the warning that it was coming up, but I was actually busy at the show, so I didn't have a lot of time to watch a lot of videos this week.
Yeah, no worries. But I mean, yeah, you should definitely watch Honey Lulu's honey dip, and you can actually even see on
The text.
because she did a premiere. Okay, and you can clearly see, I guess my body language on the live stream. As it was premiering, I was like, oh my god, I really love the red panels. Why did you dip them? So.
Cool. And we have Steph with us from the LED wheel. How you doing?
Hey guys,
What's going on?
my video's a bit screwy, isn't it?
I just leaned over. Whoops. Whoop.
Your
It
video?
looks normal most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah, and then it leans over to the side, and
Yeah.
Is it leaned over now?
Right now
actually,
you're great.
yeah, that's fine.
Well, I saw gray. Pardon un peu, ouais. Speak, say something. Oh,
I don't even see myself.
There you go.
If he locks his phone screen so it doesn't rotate, it might help him out.
yeah, mate.
How do you guys care for lithium-ion batteries? Do you just keep them charged, or you store them at a certain voltage, or
30%.
35,
on these
30%.
things?
Mm-hmm.
Because these are the ones out of my radio,
Yeah,
and for some
there's-
reason it doesn't want to
There's a
charge all the way
really
up.
weird sound coming from you, Ken. It's like
Yeah,
a buzzing sound.
And DC.
It's the computer fan,
Okay,
the famous
so
computer fan.
just turn it on if you want to say something, Ken, please. When you want to talk, just talk and then just mute it again so we don't hear that fan because it's very loud. Sorry about that. Okay, go
Sorry,
ahead. About your battery, Godzilla.
So, Fashion Boy, when you're not using your radio, you store it at 30%?
Honestly, I gotta say, man. I mean, maybe I'm doing a little negligence on that radio, but when I use it, typically when I'm done, usually it's like at 50.
So you
Okay,
leave it
and
right
and
there
I
and
know
store it?
I know I've showcased it here, but I've used it heavily over these past few days, and I try to keep it at least at 50% because when you go further down onto 50% and goes all, super fast, the battery doesn't last as long. And, and I don't know if you have the same issue, but.
Well, I've been having issues lately where it takes a really long time to get it to 100%. And then I can be at the racetrack all day and never turn the radio off. But like if I'm playing around the house like VRC Pro or something like that, and it gets down to 70% and it drops like a rock. I mean, it could be dead in 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then the other day when we were doing Steve's live feed, I had this thing charging. Well, this thing sits in a docking bay. And I had it in the docking bay USB charging for like 2 hours, and it never moved up 1%. I just stayed at 95 the whole time.
Well, you might have a battery issue. Your battery might be going.
Yeah, so I was thinking about ordering a battery, but I just kind of want to talk to some guys that have been in the hobby a little longer than I have and see what they thought.
I usually, Scott, try using your phone charger.
Well, it's the same thing as the USB.
Oh, so, okay.
And then somebody in the DX6R forum said to put it on a regular like battery charger for your RCs, but the Venom doesn't have a 1S. It only has 2S and up. I would assume that he was saying just to plug this in to the like a 1S connection, but I don't have any way to do that.
Huh.
Would that be how you would charge something like this?
That's not a LiPo.
No, it's a lithium ion.
No, it's lithium.
Yeah. So what you need is you need to go to your hobby store, and they actually have a connector for that, the male connector, and you can buy it.
My hobby store doesn't even have tires, so that's not going to happen.
Okay, look on eBay or look on. They do have an adapter cable for that you can.
I was going through all of my adapters, and I don't have anything for that. And I think, I don't know, because I always left it with some charge on it because it doesn't really drain very much. As long as I turn the screen off when I'm using it, it doesn't really use much battery. But if I leave the screen on, it'll eat up just like a regular cell phone because it's an Android operating system.
Yeah.
So should I wait till this gets worse, or should I just go ahead and order one?
Wait till it gets worse. To be honest.
Really? I've been having issues. It's happened to me twice now. I'm at the racetrack. It may not be a battery issue, but I'll turn the radio on and it keeps rebooting and rebooting and rebooting. And the only way to get it to boot again is to yank the battery out.
Well, here's another thing. On the remote, when you use it, is the screen off or on?
I usually leave the screen off. The only time I ever turn it on, because it's on the whole time I'm at the racetrack. The only time I turn it on is to change cars. And then I turn it off, go on the driver's stand, race, put it back on the table, unplug the batteries from the car. I just leave it on the whole time. Everybody freaks out because they always see the little orange light on. Your radio's on. I go, yeah, because if I tried to turn it on before a race, I'd be the last one on the driver's stand.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I mean, when you use that radio, I myself, I select the vehicle that I'm using and I just turn the screen off. And typically it lasts me a long time with the screen on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I was crawling with my ECX, the Gen 2. I have it bound to that radio. And I was out there, for quite a while. And, like I said, I mean, I had a full charge and I was there for like about an hour and a half, stuff like that. And yeah, by the time I got home and everything was still on, I checked the battery and it was like at, 60, 65%. And I said, I'll just leave it on till it gets to like 50. And, I just turned it off, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, there's a couple of times I thought I turned it off and I didn't, and it drained all the way down, which is probably what's causing my battery issues.
Now, you've always charged it. You always charged it in the remote and not out, just always in the remote, right?
Well, it has a docking station, which has got a USB connection.
Okay.
And the only other way to charge it is through this USB connection up on the top.
Yeah, USB,
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about it being Android because every phone I've ever had, every 2 years, it was time for a new one.
Well,
Yeah,
If you
and
pay $600 for a radio, you don't want to buy one every 2 years.
exactly.
No.
I don't know if you can save your setting on an SD card. That's what I would do. I would save all your setting on an SD card. And like Steph on the LED wheel is saying, do a factory reset. So that's worth a try. Save all your setting, export all your setting, do a factory reset, and then dump all your setting back in there of all your cars, and then you can.
Yeah, I can back everything up to the memory card that's in here.
The
I'm thinking
factory
about
the
uninstalling all these unnecessary apps. Like, I don't need Google Maps. I know where I'm at. You know? I don't need YouTube when I'm at the racetrack. I've got a phone if I wanted to watch a YouTube video. And all these other things that come with an Android operating system. Wow, I'm at 73% now. Okay. But yeah,
do you have YouTube on there, Scott?
Yeah, I don't watch YouTube on here, but it
No,
does.
but do you have it on the remote?
Yeah.
Wow. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. When I had mine, I had issues with that application, and I disabled it completely because I was getting these notifications that it said that application was harmful for that device. So I called in Spectrum, and then they just told me to update the whole, everything through the Play Store, Google Play, and problem solved. But I have YouTube disabled. I don't know if maybe that's also a thing, because I know when you turn on an Android device, obviously there's several applications that do run, such as location and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing why probably
I usually don't turn the Wi-Fi on this thing on because I know it's going to want to update stuff, and I don't really need all those other apps to race a car, No,
and here's the thing. This one time I noticed that I had Bluetooth on. I'm like, why in the hell would I need Bluetooth for this thing?
For your GoPro. That's why.
No, I have a cheap old school GoPro. I don't even think it's Bluetooth compatible, man. I'm even ashamed to even show it on camera. But no. I was just like, why would I need Bluetooth for this damn remote? You know what I mean? And it was on. Like, who in the hell turned it on?
Yeah, I run the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth, but all the rest of those unnecessary apps, I'm thinking about uninstalling.
Yeah, so But
I do like
by
all
the
the
end
cool
of
little features, and the interface is really cool. But I'm just really worried about the life of an Android radio.
Oh yeah. So have you guys seen all the videos about this or the pictures about this beast that came out today?
I've seen it. Yeah, it looks like the what is the Mercedes-Benz Animog.
Yeah.
I like it. I dig it.
So it's not bad. Some people didn't like the grill. Some people like that the chassis at the back actually goes down because it is hiding the shock rail, and it goes down. It hides the frame. So they've done a good job with that, and I think they did. So with the SCX10 Unimog, and that's a kit that you actually get. One thing I like that they've done is the wheels. They went with the actual Unimog wheel. So this is all what a Unimog wheel is actually going to be. And a little farther, there's some videos of it. Not videos, but pictures. They do have a video, but I'm not going to show it because of rights and all that. So we have a rear view of it here. It's got the rear tire. Some people were saying, well, one thing I like is that it looks like it's got light buckets in the front. So I'm pretty sure these are a light bucket probably for 3mm. They do have the 5mm, and they do have a fairly lead here for the winch if you put a winch inside the truck. So that's kind of cool. You've done that. Nice. Truck looks not bad from the side.
There's someone inside.
Hey?
That driver.
Yeah,
yes, they do have a driver, but what is sad about the driver is if you go in a comp or drive that truck into a Class 2 rig, you still don't get the points for the driver.
No legs.
What? Why?
It doesn't have legs.
It doesn't.
The driver must have legs. For it to be a scale driver, this driver does not have full legs. It does not have feet.
Well, get a prosthetic leg on there and put them on there.
That's what I did on my truck.
Do you get points for having a driver in your car?
Yes, you get points, yes.
Yes, even winches, ropes, lights, anything that is scale looking,
Anything that
it gives you a lot of points. And
So
I mean,
you
I've got into competitions, you know, for crawling, and like
Does that
for
work
example,
with
my
racing
honcho.
too? I get
What's
extra
that?
points for having a driver in my race car.
No, that won't work.
No, it has to be scale stuff, you know.
What's cool with the driver is you actually get the type of hats. You get a cowboy hat, you get a baseball hat, and you get a military hat.
Huh. Cool.
Well, that's kind of cool that you get those. And you get a bunch of stickers, so you can pick and choose all the stickers you want.
You know, if I may say, I'm surprised that Axial didn't do a licensed body of a Mercedes-Benz Animag. I know they themed it.
It's probably because of money more than anything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one. But I mean, I guess it would have been, I guess, a little better, if I should say, if it was like a licensed, you know, hey, Mercedes-Benz Animag.
I like the fact that they've actually went with this, a hinged body. It's about friggin' time that they have a rear cage hinge system.
Well, there's pros and cons for that. I mean, if you compare it to, like, for example, the similarities, I don't know if it would be the same thing, but if I would have to compare it with the Yeti XL, which has, you know, that
No, it's not. You can't compare it. This is a scale truck, and when you're doing scale and trucking and all that, it's nice to have and to do maintenance on your truck when you're crawling and all that. So to have the hinge body, it's really useful compared to the body pins. Mind you, you still get two body pins that are in the front because they're right there in the front bumper. And it comes down to join the bumper here, which you can see. But you can't compare this to a Yeti because it's
well,
not.
It's not that I'm comparing it to the Yeti, but what I was gonna say is that when you work on a Yeti XL, and I don't know if you own this vehicle, when you have the body like exposed like that, how you have it on your screen, if you're working on it, the body, you know, chops you off. Chops off your hands.
It always falls back and wants to chop you off. But I'm sure they have. It probably folds farther back. It probably folds all the way.
Hopefully.
If not, 90% of the time, the guys they get a stick and they put a stick up and to hold it. It just makes it a clean job for wiring also. Like when you wire all your lights. You don't have to worry because you run all your wires to the back and run it in the cab. Like that, you don't have to worry about unplugging everything. So this is why this is good for scale. And I think it's going to be it's a good add-on. I think for that truck.
But if it chops your heads off, like
yeah, sure, it's a small truck though. So this is the beadlock wheel that they have. So which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That they've made one that way, and it actually has a cap here that's actually goes over there to actually hide the nut. So it makes it for a nice, clean scale looking. So hopefully they sell this wheel other than the kit. So you probably won't see it right away, but I'm sure they'll have it as spare parts.
That's cool.
Because that's a cool wheel.
So what are you planning on getting one there, Tank, or what?
Nope, not at all.
DVDs too.
They have the SCXN2 transmission. I never owned an SCXN2, and I didn't notice. Was the SCX-10-2 always like this, a transmission with the built-in transfer case here? I don't think so. I'm not sure.
No.
The
SCX
first the
Two different
first one
transmissions.
is different. I know that for sure.
Yeah, I know from an SCX-10, yes. But I'm wondering if the SCX-10-2 was always like this, because I don't remember. But
No, I won't be able to answer that. I don't
They're
have
not.
a STX-10
I'll have to look at the thing, and I'll let you guys know next time. 'Cause I don't own one, so I don't know.
I do. They're not.
Oh, you have two and they're not?
Correct.
Ah, okay. So that's a new type of transmission that they got for this?
I'm pretty sure. Let me grab one for you.
Look at that green frog on point.
Oh, yeah. There's a reason we have one here. Metal gears in the transmission, which is good. Metal aluminum shocks. Again, C-channel for the frames, which is good. The batteries, you can put two different size batteries in there, and they have the little spacers. And I think that's standard from the other ones also. Chassis mounted servos.
Is it everything included on the kit, like electronics, motors, stuff
No.
like that?
You should not have any electronics on this kit.
Okay.
See, required items not included. But you do get the wheels, you get everything other than electronics. So you do need a transmitter, receiver, ESC, motor, steering servo, battery. And also you need paint, because I guess the body does not come painted.
Wow. How much is this? If you don't, does it say there on the website?
It's a pretty good price. Yeah, around top it says $299.
No. I would just get an ECX.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing. Well, an ECX compared to this is not. You don't get performance. I've driven both, and right off the bat, they're not the same performance. Wow, the sun went down, and I can really tell the difference in the brightness. I had the sun from outside the window, and it was nice earlier, but now I only have at the top light. Cool.
Oh, and then you know what? Yeah, I take that back, because I thought it was the same. Because I thought it looked small there, Tank. So it is like an actual SCX-10 scale truck. What is it? A 1/8, I think.
Chassis. It's the same chassis, same everything, same with an SCX-10-2. But the transmission is different.
Oh, okay. No, I thought it was. It looked smaller, to be honest.
That's probably because of the size of the. It's probably because of the body, the way they got the body. Unless they went with a shorter wheelbase. I forgot to check the wheelbase. Was that the green frog?
Same thing you said. Short wheelbase.
Yeah, they went with a short wheelbase. So, Kagan, do you have your truck with you?
Yeah, you showed it.
Yeah, but I was presenting, so I did not notice it.
There it is. He's
Okay,
muted for some reason.
Yeah, it is different.
It's the same thing as the first SCX-10.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's the first SCX-10. That's not an SCX-10-2.
No, it is an SCX-10 too. Huh.
Let's see your axles. Do they have the red? Oh, yeah, it is. That's weird. Unless that's the first version of it.
No, it's because Axial, what Axial did is that the kit, when you build it, a SCX-10-2 kit, I think even the transmission was different, and it had a bunch of other features when you bought the kit. And I do know that for a fact.
I'm going there right now on their website. I'm just going to have a quick look.
But, so yeah. I don't know, for some reason I thought this Animag was smaller for some reason. And maybe because I was thinking about that is it that Can-Am that they came out with? The Yeti Can-Am, whatever.
It is a whole new transmission, because when I'm looking at the SCX-10-2 kit, and it is exactly like Kagan's.
There's this one too. This is a different one.
Oh wow! So it's like the SCX-10, the first one.
Yeah. So the one you have is exactly like this one here. So this is the one you have.
Yep, both of them.
So that new transmission is completely new. But that's weird that they're saying that it's an SCX-10-2 transmission, because it's actually different.
It's kind of like it's Spectrum, but not Spectrum dilemma, Tank.
Maybe. So they probably have the other one at 11.4 inches. So it's too bad Steph's not there. I wanted to talk about my Red Cat Gen 8, what I wanted to do with it.
Cool.
Yeah,
You're muted there, Green Frog, Kagan.
Sorry,
Thank you. Sorry about that.
I was presenting. Let me go back and see the chat, because I've been out of the chat for a little bit.
So Steve was sick. Hey man, well hopefully you get well. Actually, I was sick last week. I had a horrible flu. I just couldn't, I bear it. It was horrible. But I feel a lot better now. So
yeah,
he's having a tough year, isn't he? That's the second time he's been sick, or third time.
Not sure.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, he's been sick a few times now.
Hey, we have Jack in the house. Steve O.D., Jack is there.
Hello everyone. How's it going? Thanks for stopping by. So if you guys ask me if this is Walter White's Winnebago, if it helps me to sell it, I can say yes. So,
is there any bullet holes in it?
Probably. I mean, we can make some. I got a pellet gun, so we'll shoot it and make it look genuine.
This is a pounder Winnebago.
Scale bullet holes, eh?
Right? Yeah. Huh?
Bradley RC saying hello from MS. Cool. Ace 88 RC's there also.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, last week I had cough and I had a cold last Thursday, and I'm still have a little bit of the cough that I had last Thursday, but it's almost gone.
Really? Wow.
So far this year.
I went to my doctor and he gave me a shot for I don't know what, and as soon as he gave me that shot, within a few minutes, I was feeling a little bit more relief, and he just gave me a couple of pills and medicine, and right now, man, I feel great, back to normal. So.
Oh, that's right. You were sick last week.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was. I couldn't join Tank's or Steve's live stream because I just felt horrible. I couldn't even speak. I had a horrible headache and a fever and everything.
Hi, RC Fun Diversion's also there, saying hi.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, and I actually checked the bandwidth here at the hotel. It's pretty good. It was 9 meg download and 7 meg upload. So, and that's on Wi-Fi. So that was pretty good.
So is that what you decided to use instead of a phone?
Well, I'm on the company laptop right now, and to do this, because when I'm on the phone or a tablet, I cannot set up the Hangout. The Hangout needs to be set up and started on a PC.
Okay.
Oh, well, so that's why I can't do that.
Hey?
Go ahead, Gabriel.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's why I can't do that.
That's why Can't do that yet.
They did that change where you had to have so many subscribers as well. So
No,
Going live.
the reason
it's
was.
been like this for years. It's been like this for years that you can't start a Hangout with a tablet or a phone.
No, but Scott's saying about the live streams.
Yes, live stream. That's a new change that they just did. Yes.
Yeah, and actually, I was affected by it because on this Kyosho Wednesday, I did want to go live, and as soon as I hit that live button, it's like, oh, your channel's not eligible for going live. You don't have
Maybe you got
1K.
blocked for that 9-hour live stream you did last time.
I guess so. I don't know.
You used up your year's allowance already.
Right?
That's what I was saying.
Somebody wants a link, so I gotta get the link.
Hey,
Cruiser RC.
Hey guys, what's the best type of cleaner to use for getting like shock oil off your RC?
WD-4 works very good. If you get oil off something, use WD-40.
Okay.
Detergent maybe? Dish soap?
Yeah, that's another
That's oil
one.
good.
I would try. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you guys are gonna agree or not, but I would air compress it and then just use soap and water. That's always effective. That's what I do.
I wanted to know the answer to that one, so I was listening.
Dawn.
I always every run that I do or anything that I do, I try not to use as many chemicals as I can. You know, best thing to do is just dust off the vehicle, and then if you need a chemical here too, just use a soft rag or whatever.
Well, I was always curious when people rebuilt shocks or diffs, what they used to get all of the gunk out of there. I just wipe it down as much as I can, and I have used WD-40 to kind of get all the little bits and pieces out, and then I clean it.
WD-40 is a degreaser. So when you read on the can, it actually says degreaser.
Right.
Thanks, Scott. You just had them answer my other question, what they use to clean out the inside of the shocks with.
Yeah. There you go. The more you know, man.
Hey, John.
Net Cruiser, how's it going?
Hey guys. Yeah, how's it going?
Good.
Doing all right.
Cool.
Cool.
So I watched the whole thing about the UMG10. Looks pretty good. You showed me some stuff I hadn't seen or I didn't notice. So that's cool. The transmission being different, that's really neat.
Yeah, it's got the transfer case and all that, but it seems to hang low. So I don't know. I haven't seen how it's going to affect, but it doesn't seem to stick out. So it should be good.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is that you can choose your own receiver. Haha.
Yep.
Right. You can buy that one that you hate.
You can put a fly sky in there.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think I made my choice. I think I'm going with Sanwa.
Really?
Yeah. I need that faster protocol.
Oh, yeah. And what's the price range? What's the price range for those receivers and transmitters?
Well, if you're buying them new, I'm looking at all used stuff. But new, you can get a new Sanwa, like an MT44 would be excellent radio for racing, and you can get that for around 300 Canadian, and that comes with a receiver and a pretty good one. And the receivers themselves go between $60 to $100.
Okay. So it's about the same thing as Spectrum and the big guy.
And I've been doing a lot of research this week about the latency and the frame rate of the protocols and stuff. Even the best Spectrum is only like 7 milliseconds, and versus Futaba and Sanwa, they're down to like under 1 millisecond in their best radios now. And my tracks I've been using all along is 13 milliseconds.
Did you look at the Futaba stuff?
Yep.
What were their speeds?
Most of their stuff that you would buy from a couple generations ago, if it's in like its normal mode, it's 13.6 milliseconds. Fast mode is 6.8 milliseconds. And their newest fast EST protocol is down to like 4 milliseconds.
Wow.
Looks like Futaba is tops at around 4 milliseconds is their fastest. And Sanwa's down to 0.8 is their fastest.
What is your eye eye-to-hand latency.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. When you get to this point of like Futaba's at 4 milliseconds and Samwa's at 2 milliseconds, I mean, at that point, I don't care. No one is going to be able to feel that. At least I don't think any human is going to be able to feel that. But I think I will be able to tell a difference going from 13 milliseconds down to like 4. That's going to be the experiment anyway. We're going to see if I can notice.
Did you happen to notice when it changed from Airtronics to Sanwa?
I don't know when they exactly changed the branding. It looked like it might have been around 2013, maybe. I'm not sure.
That long ago? Okay.
Yeah, it seems to be. Or they phased it out ever so slowly, where it's like Sanwa then became the name, and Airtronics became shown on the bottom of it, and then now on the radios, Airtronics is not shown at all.
I know the guys that have them. I swear up and down by them, but
yeah. Well, I've been comparing Futaba and Sanwa pretty much since I went racing this week, and I don't know. I want to try the Sanwa just because everyone's raving about how good its radio frequency is for speed. 0 latency is what they market it as.
Well, Earl is saying that he got his for $37 for a FlySky. Did you check FlySky how they were?
I didn't check the FlySky protocol, no.
So you're gonna remortgage your house then, so you can afford all the radios for all your race cars?
That's what. That's what I've resisted for so long. It's because I've got Traxxas receivers coming out my butt. Like I've got Traxxas receivers and everything, and to switch is a major pain. But I don't know.
I guess you can keep that in all your bashers and maybe just change the racers.
Well, how many cars can you put on that radio?
On which one?
Well, the Sanwa, the one you're buying.
I think 12.
Oh, that's not bad. You buy one radio, put 12 cars on it. That's not bad.
Well, yeah, and my Traxxas, I think it goes up to like 250.
Yeah.
Because it's being stored on the app. I noticed a lot of the higher end Sanwas, it says like in transmitter memory 12 to 18 models, but a lot of the newer radios that have come out in the past 3 or 4 years, they have SD cards in them, and if you use an SD card, it'll save up to hundreds of models in there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Who's playing that?
It had to be done.
Nice entry, Ricky.
Nice entry.
But can you load a picture of each one of your cars?
You didn't play it more because then I might have been infringing some laws with the.
And I was thinking that I was just thinking that when I locked it up earlier.
Yeah. Keep it under 5 seconds.
Hey, Richie, how's it going?
Good, thank you. Oh, I've been busy shopping today.
And one thing for sure, I'm in the desert. The Vegas is in the desert, and man, it was cold all week here. It is not pool weather at all.
Yeah.
They actually closed the pool because of high wind and too cold.
Yeah. When it snowed, less than 2 months ago?
Yeah.
It snowed there. The week after, I think it was, the week after we were there, it snowed.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly over 2 months. Early January, it snowed in Vegas on the Strip. It was on the TV this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had your talk there, RC Basher Boy. You had your time to talk about Winnebago. Now you want more time to talk about something else?
No, it's because they were flashing their Mamba systems, and I'm like, okay, I wanna get into this too.
Game Dog is.
But my apologies.
I just picked this up. Well, it's from my Losi XLE, and check out the weight of that center diff fluid.
Whoa!
Wow.
I didn't even know they made it. I thought the guy was joking in the shop when he said, "Yeah, you want the Traxxas 20 million weight stuff?" Like, really? Like,
yeah, that should stiffen it up a little bit.
Heat that up when you put it in.
Before we put it in. Not too much heat because it is oil, right? It should burn.
Yeah, right. Don't start it on fire and then put it in.
So you having a nice time out there, Tank?
Yeah, well, it was more for work. So all week was pretty much work. This was the only day that I had Thursday before I left because the show ends at 12 o'clock. But I made sure to go see everything I needed to in the first 3 days that I was here.
Yeah. Chicken Ranch?
Hey?
The Chicken Ranch?
The Chicken Ranch. No, I don't have a car, and it's too expensive for taxi to go all the way there. I did not go to the Chicken Ranch.
You should have went to Royalty Rentals, get an exotic, and go for a cruise.
I've been to a lot of strip joint all over the U.S. and Canada, and let me tell you, nothing compares to what we have back home.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah. I've heard that ours are spectacular.
Quebec and Ottawa is blows anything here. Like it's crazy. It's nothing here or anywhere else. I've been to Texas. I've been to a whole bunch of different places that and every time I go there with a distributor, I tell them, I go, well, bring me there. When I was a little younger, but since I've done it, there's no reason because you don't.
Yeah, they've changed over the years. That's for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go back to RC talk.
I never did like the tassels.
I was going to say we never had the what are they called? Pasties. Canada's never had pasties.
No.
That's yeah.
N88 is asking, has anybody ever purchased from TracksideHobby.com?
Never heard of them.
No, never heard of them. Steve,
where are they from?
I don't know. Where are they from? TracksideHobby.com.
Well, it's not coming out of the tub in a hurry.
Your 20 million. So what are you putting that in? Your XLE?
Yeah, in the center diff. Yeah.
That's what they put in the E-Revo 2.0.
And what's the Mamba X going in?
I'm not sure what motor I'm going to fit with it yet. No, that's what I'm getting for the XLE. But I'm giving an upgrade. But I've just been looking at different motors, and I think I've made my mind up. And then I see somebody else commenting saying, "Oh, that's no good. You want to try this?" So a few feelers out on Facebook saying what do people recommend.
What is the stock fluid supposed to be?
I don't know, to be honest, on there. Yeah.
Doesn't it say in the manual?
There's a manual with it? I'm not entirely sure. Let me go and have a look.
TracksideHobby.com is a small RC shop out of Ohio.
Surprisingly enough, I haven't seen in many RC documents what they say the stock diff fluids are, or even what they recommend. I don't know why they don't publish that information.
Really?
I mean, I haven't. Maybe it's in them, but I haven't noticed it. Like on the Armas, they don't really publish it on the Armas.
No. I always ask Thomas from TP Extreme because he's the man to ask for when it comes to those the diff fluids, or Phil Jolly for the speedrun stuff.
Maybe it's
and on the race kit, they all come dry, and so they just expect you to know how to tune your diffs with fluids. But yeah, the big bashers would be nice if they said, you know, what a good starting point is.
Yeah,
because I know with the Technos, like the MT410s and stuff like that, on the forums, those guys are putting super heavy fluids in there, and the bearings are coming right out of the diffs.
Yeah.
The bearings are coming out of the diffs?
Yeah. It gets so hot that the bearings just come out.
The only one I was trying to think of what car I'd seen it in the manual recently, and the Italian, the V3 one that I recently got, it says on there about putting 100k. It comes with 10k in the center one, but recommends going to 100k if you're doing speed runs for it, and it says that in the manual.
Oh, good.
I only noticed it looking for something else completely unrelated, and somebody told me put 100k diff oil in there, so I did that. And I was just looking through the manual for something else. I thought, oh, that's exactly what the manual recommends. But that, again, John, that's the first time I'd seen it in the manual. But as you say, I'm not, you know, might not have noticed I've been looking for it.
Yeah, they don't make it obvious anyway. It's not like that nice chart that comes with like the speeds and the gears and your pinions. It'd be nice if it gave you like oil tuning in there as well. That'd be nice.
Well, John, your technos, the manuals tell you what you're supposed to have in them, don't they?
In the race kits?
Yeah.
Well, like when you build them, it gives you the stock fluid when you build them. But for I'm talking about for like the bashers that you buy that have oil filled diffs, usually you have no idea what's in them. So they drain out, or you break it, or you're servicing it, and you want to know what to put in it again. And then everyone goes to the forums and asks. Or a lot of people, you'll see them jump in and they'll be like, why do my front tires balloon so bad? Like everyone asks that.
Yeah.
And it's,
you know, if you read it online, it's the gospel, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. But it's because the center diffs, they put in really light fluid from the factory for some reason in all the centers. And so that's when everyone jumps in. They're like, put in 1,000,000 weight. I'm like, whoa, like there's a bit.
Because I always ask people on there, for my ignorance, why does it cause the front tires to balloon when you've got the light oil in the middle?
Spin more freely.
Yeah, it spins like your weight transfer is going to the rear tires, so the rear tire is taking it, and then the power is going through the area of least resistance. So if the center spool is spinning really easy, it's just going to shoot it all to the front. This goes to the area of least resistance.
Yeah, I mean, that's some of the mechanics about the diff work, but I didn't know the mechanics about the diff oil affected how the diff works, if that makes sense.
So by thickening up the oil, you're going to make the power transfer more evenly front and rear.
Gotcha. Right. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, whenever I've got a query, I just ask like a friend who's got a similar car that's sort of tuned up, or because I know it's different for speed runs than it is for bashing.
Yeah. Oh, you got a call coming in.
That was me. Sorry, guys.
Steve OD is yelling because he's typing in caps. He's yelling, thought the Creighton manual had the fluid 10K rear, 100K center, and 20K front. That's what he said in the manual.
Okay, that's good. It might now. I mean, I've got version 2 manuals, so I haven't seen version 3 and version 4 in print. So it's good if they add that stuff now, because I would look for it before. I couldn't find it.
I find that crazy.
What was that?
They should give you a starting point, or a recommended starting point at least, I would think.
Oh, it's probably available somewhere. They just don't make it obvious. Not that I've found anyway. I mean, any kit that you build, if it comes with the fluids, it'll tell you what to put in, but it's the ready to runs. You don't necessarily know.
Wow. I guess I'm just spoiled with these technos, huh?
It's probably a ploy so they can sell you more front tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Can anyone?
Your V4 buggy? You've been looking that around?
Was that good?
I was going to say, can someone explain to me how to get this rod end off of the shock? Because every time I grab it, it's always turning. Is there like a set screw down inside the shock?
No, they make a tool. It's just you just have to clamp onto your shock shaft. So wrap it. If you don't have a nice like pincher tool with smooth sides, you can wrap a towel around it or a shop towel, and then use this
one right here.
Yeah, he's got one. Yeah, that one. You see those 2 little holes on the end there? It pinches the shock shaft. Yep.
Okay, I definitely don't have that.
So if you wrap a towel around it and then just hold on to it with a pair of pliers. You just don't want to scuff up the shaft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't scratch the shaft.
And you're talking about the shaft as far as the part that goes in up inside the shock body?
Yep.
Okay. Thanks.
Here.
Yeah, I bought myself a pair of shock pliers. I use it a lot now.
Yeah, I have that same techno tool that Scott just showed, and it's been like for building kits and for working on shocks, it's been a revelation. I love that thing.
Yeah.
It's got that weird like ball cup in, ball cup out setting though. I can't quite figure out how to use that properly.
Oh yeah.
Do you know?
The one I got were just shock pliers. So It didn't have all the other fancy doodle.
Yeah, it's got other fancy stuff on it.
They're expensive though.
Oh, mine
Yeah,
was
it
like
was a
$30.
splurge, but I bought it. I ordered it when I built my EB410, my Techno. I also have that same Techno tool, but it gives you two sizes for shock caps, two sizes for shock shafts,
Yeah.
and then these two here is like one says ball in and one says ball out, but I've never quite figured out how to make that work effectively. Like,
Well, that's to put the ball in the shock or to take it out. That would be handy. You know those shocks, you have a ball end in them?
yes,
Well, that's to take the ball out or to actually snap the ball in.
true. And so I have used it for that, but it's not as easy as it makes it look. Like it helps a bit, but maybe it's my technique. But anyway, that's what you can do with one of these. But like Scott said, they're not cheap.
And they're hard to find in stock sometimes too.
There might be a cheaper version. Like you might be able to find one that doesn't have Techno written on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, but since I've gotten a tool like that, I use it for every kit build. Every time I work on shocks, I pull that out because it makes it way easier.
Yeah, mine was a Team Losi, I believe. It's a Team Losi plier, shock plier. I can't find it.
Actually, the ball joint pliers that I bought had a thing where it actually holds the shaft really good.
Oh, yeah?
I'm so proud of myself with all these balls and shafts going on here. I haven't said a word.
Lower it down.
Scott, you got a good noodle start for today.
So this is the one I have. This is the one. It's plain simple, and it's just for Team Losi Racing.
Okay, and it just does the shock shafts.
Yeah,
Three sizes.
5 and 4. So
what's the small one? 3.
26,
3.5.
26.99 US.
So I'm understanding that clamps around. That you can clamp the shock without having to take the whole thing apart, basically.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I might invest in one of those.
Yeah, they're good.
So I'm just cutting my stickers up. If anybody wants any of that, they don't look round, but they are round when they peel them off anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you just sent me a package. How come you didn't put it in the package?
You didn't get a sticker tag? I got a sticker.
I didn't get a sticker.
Uh-oh.
I got a sticker in your package.
Hey?
There was the sticker in the bag. I'll send you another one.
There's the package back.
Stickers in.
I'll have to check, but I don't think there were stickers in the bag.
Okay, well, I'll send you one of the big ones now.
Yeah, put it in an envelope. It's going to be cheaper to send this time.
Yeah.
Charlie says that's a must-have tool. Yeah, if you're rebuilding shock, you're bashing, you're doing a bunch of stuff. Those shock pliers are very handy to have.
Yeah. Why would they not write any?
Steve says he's got the rectangle OG sticker.
Oops.
Yeah, that's this one, right? Like that. Maybe I got one of the last ones.
Hey, Richie.
Yeah.
You can put one of those on the bottom of the Glamisphere.
That is very true. If you're all right with me doing that, yeah, I'll put them on. They look slightly funny. They're actually, the cutout of them's round on there. So yeah.
No, but since, the car is on tour, since it's going to your channel as well, whenever you use it and stuff like that, whenever you're done, slap one in there on the bottom. And
Is Sunny Lulu changing the body color on it? Oh,
No, the Honolulu tried to scare me. You know, it was a big prank. You know, long story short, you know, Axiomatic purchased the panels,
It was a team
thinking
effort.
that it was the original panels, and no, the original panels are still in the car, but Honolulu did a separate body set of panels.
all right.
only
Okay.
did.
I saw the thing.
So-
I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I didn't make it through that whole video, but I saw the like she was trying to fool you into thinking she was like priming and then going to dip your body. I was like, oh man, that's a good prank.
And yes, and she got me really well, man. I was mad, sad. You know, I had all these feelings, man, all over. You know, so. But she definitely got
They
me.
go out of your way to prank you like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, man. You know.
I'm just going to acid dip the chassis before we do it.
Robert Banner RC and Fun actually put a comment, and he says some wire crimper would work. And I would say no, do not use wire crimper to hold your shock, because wire crimper have little tiny teeth. And if you try to hold on to the shock, those teeth are actually going to go through those through the shock shaft. And then when it's going to go in, it's going to break that seal, and then your shocks are going to leak. So you really got to make something, or if you put a piece of rubber or a cloth, yes, it will work, but you got to be careful not to hurt that shaft.
And I agree to tank because you know, I was that part of, you know, of that negligence, if I should say. You know, I was using, you know, just whatever tools, you know, just to hold the shafts. And that's why they make special tools, you know, so you can rebuild your shocks and stuff like that. So I highly recommend use, you know, the actual tool for you to rebuild your shocks, because it is a delicacy, to be honest. You know, the slightest thing that you can do to a shaft, you know, if you damage it, you know, it's like you're not doing anything at all.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's just gonna, you know, not work at all.
More damage than good.
Yep. So tools are meant for a reason. Use them, gentlemen.
And Scott is brushing his teeth, his Buggy's teeth.
And once I get it all clean, I get it through every bolt in here again.
Why are you cleaning it? You're only going to get it dirty again.
I know, right?
You think it's going to make it go faster?
The excuse for cleaning is I can see if there's anything missing or loose. Mostly, I guess.
That's true. I thought you were doing it so you could go faster.
No, that's what stickers are for.
No, that's what stickers Driftomatic stickers makes your car go faster.
Yeah, I was going to say these have got to be worth a good 5 to 10 miles an hour. You want like 3 or 4 on? Robert Barnes said, thanks, Driftomatic, great shot video. Thank you for your nice comment, Robert.
Okay. Cool Steve O.D. Steve O.D. says he's got to go rest. His cold is really bad on him, and he's sweating like a dog right now.
I hope you get to
Feel
feel
well,
better,
my
Steve.
friend.
I feel safe. Good time, Steve.
See you, Steve.
And hope to see you tomorrow night. And if not, if you're not there, I guess I'm going to have to host another RC talk if you're not there. So people are going to be lonely on Friday night. So
All right.
keep me up to date.
And apparently, I just learned that in order to do Hangouts, you need a PC, in which I don't own. So I won't be able to host a
So
Hangout.
you're not politically correct?
What's that?
So you're not politically correct?
Yep. So
PC?
and I can't do live streams because I'm not at 1,000 subscribers, and well,
You'll get
thank you. Hopefully.
You're at what right now?
I think I'm in the 640 something.
That's not bad. You should get there soon enough.
Thank you. Hopefully. So we'll see.
I need to make a damn video already.
Well, if you don't post, of course you're not going to get.
Actually, I've got quite a bit of subscribers in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I haven't posted anything. I'm like, what's going on? I posted a video, and no one watches it, and now I don't post anything. I get subscribers. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's weird how you get spikes because people find your old videos and then watch.
Yeah, it's one I thought that's completely unrelated to RC cars, but it's worthwhile looking up if you like skateboarding. Sunny Coast Skate, and they race downhill on longboards. And when I say like race downhill, I mean like into the 50, 60 miles an hour going downhill.
Holy cow!
It's quite awesome to watch. And they obviously did it while they were at college or growing up. And then when they obviously went off their own ways, they just left the channel. And it's got like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and nothing's been added onto it in, I guess, a few years.
Wow.
But it obviously just ticks away with people still subscribing to it. But some of the videos are just complete. They got like no helmet on or some like in a tuck on the longboard going downhill. It's just crazy. I mean, they're really good, but yeah.
I forget with those guys that don't have any videos and they have, a bunch of subscribers. It's like, did they just erase everything off their channel, or what's the deal with that?
They probably use Fiverr.com.
So with my Gen 8, I was thinking of doing a, those big rally trucks that goes in the desert?
Mm-hmm.
What are they called again?
Dakar.
Dakar. Yeah.
Yeah, Dakar. So I was thinking of doing a Dakar, which I can still do it. But everybody's on me on this about the Dakar because my Gen 8 has portal axle. And some people were saying, well, Dakar trucks don't have portal axles. Well, some of them do. And pretty much you can make anything into a Dakar truck. So there's all types of Dakar. So,
yeah. Some like crazy. They have those some like really souped up Unimogs, I think, don't they, doing the Paris Dakar, I think.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking of doing is actually a Unimog.
Yeah.
Pretty much like the one that not Traxxas, but Axel came out with. So the LED wheel is supposed to print me a cab that looks pretty close to that one. Actually, it has more of a flat nose. So I was thinking of doing a Unimog instead of a Dakar, but I might still do a Dakar, but it's going to be that style. That's what I'm thinking of doing with the Gen 8. Should be kind of.
Going to replicate any particular one, or just going to make a?
No, I'm not going to try to replicate an existing one. I'm just going to build my own paint job and things like that. So it'd be fun if I got a cab that looked like a Mercedes, because I know the Mercedes Unimog have portal axle, but it's just getting that 3D print to look like a Mercedes. I know the one that Steph from the LED wheel has. It's not a Mercedes, but it'd be fun to get Mercedes.
Oh, Draco Legolas, I'm sorry if I'm not pronounced that right, says, how's the night going, people? Welcome.
Hey, Draco. We're doing good. Chit-chatting.
So those of you guys that don't know, Baterossi is actually Dakar inspired. It's that, ugly, weird looking vehicle that I own.
Yeah.
It's basically a Dakar vehicle.
Yeah, but it's ugly.
Yeah, but it's Dakar inspired.
Okay. But I'll try to build something a little prettier than that one.
And I will admit, I mean, it is ugly, but
even if you put that body on the Team Low seat, it's still ugly.
Yeah, but and here's the thing. I mean, I will admit that the vehicle is ugly, but I guess the time spent and the modifications that I've done to it, it's just well worth it. It's just one of those things that it puts a smile on your face, even though it's ugly. So, I really do enjoy, using that vehicle.
Scottzilla, what's that you're working on, Scottzilla? Because it looks huge when you pull it up. I don't know if it's the camera angle. The spring looks huge on there.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a techno buggy, EB48.
Ah.
Show it off. I got you presenting right now. Show it off.
Yeah.
So it's a techno 1/8 buggy, right?
Yeah, 1/8 buggy.
Show your shaft.
So the shocks at the back are a little bigger than the front, I believe.
Yeah, they are actually. It's with the body. Looks more like a car that way, doesn't it?
Cool.
I don't own a lot of vehicles, but I own 3 Technos.
Yeah, man, that's a great collection.
Yeah.
More than
And
that,
there's a
I
lot
saw
of
your video.
interchangeable parts too. So.
Yeah, you got 3 good race machines, that's for sure. I mean, if you want to talk about new RCs, the associated B74.
Oh yeah.
If you want to bring that up, Tank, we could talk about some really techie race cool stuff on that thing.
You go have a look.
The associated B74. It's a new 4-wheel drive buggy. And it's got some pretty cool tech in it.
I went to NorCal Hobbies and they've got an indoor track which they spray all the time to keep it to keep the
E74, you said?
Yeah.
And when Team Associated release a new buggy out, you go down there at the weekend and they'll have like 200 or 300 cars stacked up around the inside of the shop. Most of them have got a little yellow post-it on with somebody's name, just awaiting them to come in. But it's quite phenomenal. So you walk in and think, like, what the hell are they all for? And then you realise they're virtually all sold. I guess the kids just want the, they want the latest thing.
The latest and greatest, yeah.
A week later and your buggy's out of...
Okay, so let me go to application.
Anybody want to recommend a shockweight oil? I'm done, and these things are rebuilt.
Shockwheel oil for what car?
My E-Revo 2.0.
Man, I don't know.
That's difficult.
I haven't even tuned mine. Those are the inboard cantilever style shocks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Off the top of my head, I think I was running 50 on one end and 70 on the other.
70?
But I wasn't entirely happy with it.
Okay.
It felt like quite hard on the ground.
Okay, because what I did is I don't like those eliminator straps for the people, this is like a common problem, I guess, with the E-Revo. The rear shocks are blown out.
Yeah.
I came across a guy that his YouTube channel was Upgraded RC, and he's really good at giving you detailed instructions on how to repair everything. And he said his solution for to keep your shocks from blowing out is to add the extra bump stop to the inside of your shock body. And he hasn't had any problems. And he has a bashing video that seemed like he was really almost like Kevin Talbot, and he hasn't had any issues. So I figured I'd try that before I tried those eliminator straps, because I just don't like the looks of those eliminator straps.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've never fitted them on the grounds. It always feels like it's wrong if you have to fit. There's something's going wrong if you're having to fit those, because they're not making the car with them in the first place.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean on there. It's just a personal thing, but I'm trying to think.
Because I had to watch your video a couple of times on how to put these things in there, because they're a pain.
I was going to say, it's an interesting job, isn't it? Like at one point you need like about 5 hands.
Yeah, I would probably say this is probably my 4th time tearing this thing apart just for shock reasons and putting them back on. So I ought to be getting pretty good at it by now.
Yeah. Yeah, I found it interesting. I was like bits of it balanced up on tires and things just to take the load off, because otherwise you're fighting against yourself. Yeah. I'm glad you found it useful though. Yeah.
That limiter, is that the little spacer that goes on the shaft on the inside of the shock, or what is that?
Yeah, it's I bought the shock rebuild kit, and they're just like little blue cones or whatever you want to call them.
Okay.
So I have, when you buy it, they're on the outside by the spring retainer clip, I guess you would call this.
Okay.
And I just took it apart real quick here and put one on the inside, and I'm going to see how that works. Just adding this onto it just made this whole thing feel so much stiffer. And I got that the black adjustment ring all the way up towards where you would like put a pair of pliers or a crescent wrench to hold it to take off the shock cap. And these things just feel super tight right now, just without anything, like any shock oil or anything. If I had my camera, I could have showed you, but for some reason my camera on my PC don't work.
So it's tight without any fluid in it?
Yeah, I don't have any fluid in it. I don't even have the shock cap. I was just trying it out. I could probably take a picture and post it on Instagram. If you're on there, I go by Primal Venom RC and use Primal _ Venom _ and then RC, and you'll see that would be me. I think I have the V-Car Bison for my avatar picture, and I can show you that way. I don't do Facebook. My work doesn't allow that.
Anybody got a suggestion on that one? That doesn't sound right to me.
No, it doesn't sound right.
Tank should know.
No, I don't have an E-Revo 2.0 or even a big E-Revo.
Yeah, but any shock should be able
No,
to
but
move.
he's saying that he's saying that it's tight and it has no fluid. No,
Something's probably bent.
Could be. Is your shaft bent?
Yeah, it's probably a bent shock shaft if it's tight and no fluid.
Mm-hmm.
Would have bent? Would have damaged it? Oil would have leaked out?
It don't feel like super tight. You can just definitely tell that there's a difference between before I took them off and added the extra bump stop to now.
Okay.
You're sliding 2 pieces of rubber up and down the shaft now instead of one.
Yeah, I'm probably adding more friction to it, and I don't have.
You're definitely adding more friction if you added stuff that's moving.
Yeah, and I don't have any oil in it yet. That's why I was asking about recommendations because I got
just
50
give it a
through
little
100.
of oil and try it. Just to lubing it up, it'll probably make a world of difference.
Okay, well, I'll do that, and I'll get back on here.
Yeah, I think I increased it because it was. I think when I had 50 all round, it was still bottoming out on the back. I think that's why I went up to 70, but then it was almost too stiff for 70.
Okay.
I put a link in the chat tank for that associated buggy. If you, I found that's the best site that goes over some of the new stuff that's in it, and we could talk about.
The other one I found was Big Squid, and there's nothing on Team Associated.
Yeah, there's not much. There's not much there. The one that I put in is from Red RC. Red RC.
It is on the Team Associated site. The B74 team kit.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, there's pulls reasonable amount of detail up. Well, one page.
RC10 B74 team kit.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
This one here.
Yeah.
If you can't get big pictures, can we get big pictures, please?
That's what there's better pics in the Red RC.
Oh, yeah.
Well, at least, they might be easier to show because that interface on Associated site is pretty hard.
Yeah, it's like funny. Like Horizon RB sell the Losi stuff, but their webpage, their pages on the Losi cars are better than the Losi website.
Yeah,
they're like more info and better pictures.
Loading price out for it yet? Looks nice.
Pardon me?
Is there a price yet for it?
Then it was $500, I think.
I think you're looking at well over $500.
What's so special about this buggy compared to another buggy?
It's got wheels. It has a lot of new tunability in it. So it's got some easy access center differential, and a lot of the things for roll center have been adjusted. So there's the quick list of new features, which is quite a lot of stuff. So it's got new shocks, new steering geometry, new suspension, new aluminum AR mounts with optimized roll center. So the coolest thing is if you keep scrolling down, it's the whole like roll center adjustment, which is how you adjust your rear links. There's a good picture. Keep going down a little bit more. So look at how that rear end is configured. Keep them going a little bit more. That's how easy it is to get at the center diff. A lot of carbon fiber. The new
Oh,
chassis
wow.
looks great.
It does.
Keep going. So there's how you get at your diffs and stuff. And then this pick at the very bottom there, that's the new rear hub carrier. And look at how weird that is. So that allows you to adjust the horizontal and the vertical of your rear links to really dial in your roll center. That's a pretty big new thing that I haven't seen on any other car before. Now, I was talking to some guys online just tonight, and they were like, yeah, Yokomo has it, and something else came out with it a year ago. But now it's in one of the most popular four-wheel drive buggies ever. So we'll see if it makes a big difference, because now you can adjust not only the height on the inside and the outside, you can also adjust the length of your link. And that also really lets you dial in that roll center for higher grip, lower grip, and tuning. So It's got a lot of cool innovations in it. I'm pretty impressed, and I'm not a big Associated fan, but that thing looks great.
So in other words, it gives you an easier way to fuck it up.
Yeah, that
We're
too.
gonna find parts for this.
Yeah, sure, that too. Yeah, this is a professional race machine. Everything's adjustable. You can fuck it up hard.
Yeah, it looks very cool, and that's for sure.
Yeah,
It's expensive.
well, $519, but for a high-end four-wheel drive race buggy, I would think. I mean, I know that's a lot of money to a lot of people, but I guess that's not too bad a price.
No, it's average, and it looks like it's got great parts in it already. Like, I don't see anything that looks like it needs an immediate upgrade at all.
Yeah.
So $520 US. That's like $700 Canadian.
Yep. So that's high, because my EB 410 kit, which is kind of like on the same sort of a quality level as this, just a year older, we ended up getting them for around 500 Canadian. So yeah, that's a 700 Canadian kit. That's a lot, but it also has a lot more carbon fiber and aluminum than my Techno did out of the box.
Okay.
930 grams in weight, or a smidgen over 2 pounds.
Yeah.
I guess that's empty, but that's still fairly light, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, the thing about this, though, is that it is designed for ultra-modern tracks. So that means it's designed for indoor Astro, and it's designed for indoor hard-pack clay. So for us, for our local track, which is like an outdoor, kind of an older style dirt track, it's not going to be ideal for that. Probably there's the B64D, which is designed for dirt tracks. This one, I would say out of the box, it's more designed as a carpet or an Astro racer, because it's going to be for extremely high grip. And they may or may not end up coming out with like a D version later, like a B74D that has some like dirt tuning done to it. Anyway, yeah, I was pretty impressed. That was one of the few new things that came out this week that I was like, ooh, that came out of nowhere, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's game changer.
I mean, the carbon fiber, it's like, wow.
Have you ever done any of the indoor off-road racing, John?
I've done indoor. I've done indoor Astro, indoor off-road Astro. Yeah. We used to have a track for a couple years between like 2010 and 2015. We had indoor Astro.
Cool.
Yeah. And so everyone around here was running Schumachers with these like big knobby tires on that would dig into the carpet or the AstroTurf.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. It was fun. We all miss it. We talk about it a lot. Like, man, we got to find a place where we can get that going again.
Yeah.
So was the traction pretty crazy with the AstroTurf?
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing traction. Yeah, it's great.
So would you have like the high side rolls in the corners or what?
Yeah, you could. You could traction roll in the corners if you had your grip set up too high. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It amazes me on this NorCal one. I guess they have to have something spraying it even during the night, because like on race day, it's like every hour or a half hour there's somebody going around and they spray the track on there. So I guess they have something during the night, because it's down in San Jose. So in the summer, the temperature at night when it's closed is still going to be, hot enough to dry it out overnight, I would think.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, Tony's in the house. He's in China or Japan, something like that. He's
Wow. Really international tonight.
yeah, we're really international yet. Hey Tony, how's it going?
Hey, Tony.
He got some very cool picture on Facebook of his trip. It's really cool what he's been doing.
You know, and speaking about Tony, he was at that one channel the other time, and we were talking about the what is it, the RC calendar? Remember, I actually that's a pretty good idea, man. I mean, I wouldn't know even where to start, but you know that would be pretty neat.
You'd get your Glamis in. That's where you'd start.
Right.
It's not really a problem, but most photo places have it. We have Price Club Costco, and they do it. They have a photo finishing places. Most places online can do calendar. You just have to send them the 12 of them and tell them which month you want, and you're off. What's neat with it also when you build a calendar is you can put anniversaries on some dates. So, or special events coming up, or let's say you put every Thursday RC Talk at 9:30, so you can actually have that printed on the calendar. And
that's kind of cool.
So
that's actually pretty clever. And see, things like those, I didn't know you can even make a calendar on Costco.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and,
you can.
So I mean, gentlemen, if I know that Tank has, you know, a little bit more knowledge than I do, but you know, if you guys ever want to mess, you know, or create a calendar, hey, I'm all for it. You know, probably we can maybe showcase a few vehicles from each and every channel that we recognize or know, and maybe just put them in 1 month, or I mean, I don't know, but
yeah, well, it's the time that it takes to take the picture. So theoretically, you would take somebody's picture, like say your Glamisphere, or your Spectrum remote, one or the other, whichever you like the best. And then you have the Bachelor Boy logo on it also. So when people actually have that up for a month, they see your Glamisphere, but they see your logo. So it's all art. It's just getting the pictures and the people's logo together and all that. It's just not everybody has a logo. So, but it would be fun to do.
It would be. So
Some of you guys
I'm saying I'm all for it.
So many cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The LED says make your own on Cafe Press. Cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've made calendars before. I forget who I used. There used to be something called like, what was it? Photo Fish or something weird. And then Apple itself used to have like book and calendar printing. There's lots of services. You just have to find out which one you would want to use, which one has the best value.
Which one would be the cheapest also.
Yeah.
And then would ship like Canada and US, because it's you order one or you order 20. So if you make an order, then you have, let's say I do them, then I would have to order them and then ship them out, because that company, unless we find somewhere where we can have one and then everybody orders from that place. So that would
that's what I was thinking. It'd be good if you could find a place that has like the print to order type stuff, like the so there is no inventory anyone has to deal with. It's just if you buy one, it gets made for you.
For print.
Was that
I said like a Teespring for print, but for print.
Yeah. That must exist somewhere, but I don't know the name of it.
Probably more so, because you would think that's got to be easier for somebody to do a print run than it is like a T-shirt, which has got to require some manual setup.
Mm-hmm.
Sexy RCers 2020.
That would be cool, you know. But I mean, hey, if you guys, like I said, I wish I can sponsor it. Well, not sponsor it, but I mean, I don't even know where to start. Really, I'm not a high tech person myself, but you know, it would be neat, you know, to actually see a calendar of all the YouTube channels.
A little bit, and I was leaving for Vegas right away, so I haven't had a lot of time. This week I'm going back to work, so I should have time once I'm back at work to surf the web and do stuff during my lunch hour.
Yes, during your lunch hour. Yes.
Yes, I did specify during my lunch hour. So once I'm back on my desk, I'll have a look next week.
Cool. So, and I mean, as far as picture goes, I mean, I take pictures on phones, on my tablet. I don't even know how to lower the resolution. I'm horrible, But,
well, that's good because for print, you want it the highest resolution you can get.
Oh, okay. So
Yep.
Okay, so win-win.
I'm trying to catch up on the chat there. There's a lot of people chatting about all kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I've just been working on gearing. I haven't been paying attention to the chat either. Do you ever, hey Scott, do you ever try and calculate your FDR, your final drive ratio for your off-road buggies, or do you just kind of tune it based on feel?
I found a gearing that doesn't get too hot, and I just kind of leave. Actually, I start off by asking what everybody else is running.
Yes. No, yeah, I find that's true for off-road as well. Like I usually never hear anyone talk about FDR in off-road, but as soon as you go to on-road, that's like everyone's talking FDR for that track. Like what's the ideal ratio?
Yeah, but if you change your ratio to a higher ratio, you'll go faster than the other guys.
It doesn't always make it manageable either.
You'll have a higher top speed, slower acceleration, and a hell of a lot more heat. So I'm going from I'm changing my gearing now from a 4.76 to a 4.40. But in order to do that, I got to change my spur and my pinion and my pulleys. Anyway, I'm doing this for the very last race day of the season, which is this Sunday. It's the last on road, and then we're losing that venue as well. It's the last time we're ever going to race there. So, are you going to make it out, Hank, for Sunday for the very last race day at Maple Ridge?
If I want to try my vintage car that I just bought new tires and I just bought a new motor, new ESC for it and all that to do carpet racing, I guess I better show up for that last race, right?
Well, yeah, they've said that they're definitely going to come back. Like it's not dead forever, but they don't have a home. So it's going to come back because they just don't know where. So yeah, in the short term, if you want to race it, Sunday's your last day that you can.
Wow.
I've been gone for a week, so anyways, I'll check with the wife. She's got stuff planned for this weekend.
Yeah, it's a hard sell, but you want to use it? Come on out.
I might have to pass a vacuum, but I can do that on Saturday.
Yeah, and then also Tank has to work on that calendar we were talking about.
Yeah, but that's
so
Monday.
It's like, oh, okay.
Work.
Okay, so it won't be on your schedule. Okay, cool.
No, it's not on my schedule.
Go buy a Roomba, drop it off, set it going, and leave.
Going back to gearing, John.
Yep.
On your off-roads, you just mostly change the pinion, or do you do the spur as well?
I'm mostly just tuned with the pinion.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then when I get to a point where I want to go up or down a pinion and it won't reach, then I got to deal with the spur. Yeah, which is exactly what I'm doing to this car right now. The gearing that I needed to get to, I can't do it. And so I'm going from a spur that's this tiny, like an 86 tooth spur. I got to go all the way up to a 114 because that's all I have. I don't have any. Well, I got a 96, but it's in my other car. So that's where having a bunch of gears helps you because you can dial in your tuning better. So I'm going from a 3787 to a 53 114.
And how do you calculate that? Do you have like an online calculator or something that you use? I've seen a bunch of that stuff.
You have to know what the ratio is for the transmission, which is different for every car. And so you take your spur gear and you do teeth, the number of teeth that's on this. So 114 divided by your pinion, 114 divided by 53 times your transmission ratio. So in this case, my car is 2.05. So it's spur divided by pinion times transmission.
Interesting.
And that gives you your final driver.
You can install. I've installed on mine. It's called RC Setup and RC Car Gear Calc. So
Okay.
the only thing you have to know is the ratio of your drivetrain, and then you can figure everything. So you have a center diff and you have your front diff. You just need to know your ratio, enter that, and then you can play with the pinion and the spur. And it gives you what speed you're going to get. You can even enter the size of motor that you're going to be put and the size of battery, and it should tell you how fast you're going to go.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. And what about bashers? Do they do the same thing for gearing, be able to climb hills and stuff?
Nope, just plug and play.
Yeah. Bashers, we don't worry about that. As long as it goes forward, you're all good. You put the battery in.
I meant crawlers. I'm sorry. Did I say bashers? I meant crawlers.
Oh,
Crawlers, you need the torque. So crawlers, we just go with a brushless motor, 35 turn. That's what the most popular is. But people with more money now, they go with a 6-pole motor. Those are pretty good crawlers, and you can get good torque out of those. And you don't need them censored because if you get them censored, they're not waterproof unless you buy the more expensive one that are. So it gets expensive once you go brushless.
So on a crawler, most of you guys are running like really small pinions, right? Because you want the most torque.
Correct. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an 8-tooth or something like that.
Oh wow! I was thinking like 11 was small, but you're going even below 10.
Yep.
13 on a Wraith.
Is that like a 2-tooth pinion, or what is that?
Yeah. How low can you go?
13 on a Wraith.
18. Not 8, 18.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I have a 9-tooth on my Honcho. I didn't really want to go that low because I really needed the high end, torque.
I wonder what the smallest tooth pinion they can make is. Like 5?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's probably even more than that. It probably is near 8.
Probably be divisible by 360. So 6.
Oh. Has to be divisible by...
Oh, Tony says he's back from Japan and he's pre-jet lag. Cool. Sorry, I cut you off.
Hot racing.
A math lesson about circles.
John, hot racing, do a 32 pitch 6-tooth pinion gear. On Amazon. Sorry, I had to find out. I tried 5 and that wasn't appearing, or not.
Yeah.
RC stuff anyway.
Green Frog was right. Smallest in the world is 6.
Wow. Oh, really? 6? Wow.
Oh, sorry, Green Frog. I didn't hear you mention 6. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. For the math, for it to make a full 360 degrees, it would have to be 6.
Sorry, Green Frog. Didn't hear you mention that. Sorry.
No worries.
If they did a 4-tooth one, they could nickname it the Windmill.
That'd be like having square tires.
I was just thinking that the vibration with 4 teeth.
I can imagine the pitch on that though.
Well, it's the pitch and the size of your shaft must be a very small shaft, just so that the 4 actually gives you a right
cross.
I did have to say, when I was putting that video together the other night, I actually fitted. I had I had a mismatch with it on the Traxxas Russell when I put that brushless setup on there. I wasn't paying attention when I was putting it together. And a 48 pitch, either pinion and a 32 pitch spur, one or the other anyway. It lasted a full 30 seconds.
Wow.
You had your
and I thought the grub screws come loose. I thought, no, that's just eating all the teeth off the kit.
I bet.
Well, I fitted the center diff, and I'd not paid attention. When I fit the center diff, I fitted a hot racing metal gear to it, and it was because I was going to put it in the Traxxas Rally to start with. So I'd fit a 32 pitch gear on there, but in the Traxxas Rustler, it was going to be a 32 pitch gear. So we've got a 32 pitch gear on the center diff, which are then put in the rally, but the rally runs on 48 pitch, hence the mismatch.
Yeah, that's bad.
The Traxxas Rally runs on 48 pitch gears.
Yeah. But they somebody says that on that, when you said earlier about the manuals on the armors, somebody said to me that in the manual for the Traxxas Rally, it says if you go brushless to switch from 48 pitch to 32.
Oh, that's why. Yes. Okay, because it was brushed versus brushless. Yeah, Traxxas does that. Yeah.
I have run it before on brushless on 48 pitch, and it was fine.
Yeah, hold up. I have my Arma Granite is the Mega, so it's 48 pitch. It holds up on brushless power fine.
Oh yeah. It is a recommendation.
Yes.
Doesn't mean you have to do it.
And I'm curious, gentlemen. Those of you guys that are in the crawling scene. Back in the day, I remembered. I think it was RC 4-wheel drive that had this. I think attachment to the. I think the differentials for the axial, where you would have just 2-wheel drive, and then you can just add a servo on there, and you can just make it 4-wheel drive. Like by pushing a button. Have you guys ever seen that?
Yes, I have it on my truck.
Really, is it really effective? Like, how do you like it?
Yeah, most Wraith you can put it. The original Wraith, you can actually. It's called a dig. And you can actually install it on your axial truck, and that's what I did on my SCX10. Is I bought the Wraith transmission case, just a case. Opened it up and opened up my SCX10 transmission, because the gut and the SCX10 transmission and the Wraith are exactly the same. So I just put it in there, bought the dig kit, and put it on there, put a servo, and I now have dig on my truck, which means I can lock up the rear end. So either lock up the rear end or make it freewheel. So it's kind of cool. It's really neat.
Yeah, that guy, that heavily modified Wraith that I filmed the other day going around the crawling course at JJ Customs, the guy had got a dig on that. I think he's got Vanquish axles on that, but it's a Wraith. But I'm sure he said that's got a Vanquish dig fitted on there.
Okay.
But I don't know too much about the crawler mechanics, but I know he got the dig fitted on that. Yeah.
Nice.
No, but I mean, you guys are talking about dig where you can break the back wheels, right, in order for you to turn. Is that what you guys are saying?
Or freewheel.
Or freewheel.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean, what I mean is you go from 2-wheel drive, and then you can lock the whole truck with a push of a button. You just make it 4-wheel drive. That was also a thing, back in the day when because actually I was going to do that to my Honcho, but I decided not to.
What the dig is, as I understand it, I switch it by disconnecting the rear wheels. So instead of, if you're going to slow, say that's the rear wheels where my elbow is, instead of the rear wheels pushing the car in, it's pulling the front up, as opposed to the rear pushing itself under. Is that right, Tank?
Yeah. I just put a link to my video that I've done, and it actually explains, and I'm actually running the car with it to actually show you how it's done. But it locks the rear wheel, and then it's only the front pulling. Your car becomes a front wheel drive. But depending how you install the transmission, you can have the reverse. You can have the rear wheel pushing and have the front free if you want. But that won't help you get you out of trouble. When you're putting a dig, the dig is locking at the back. It's either locked, 4x4, locked at the back, or free wheel at the back. So it's always the front pulling.
Oh, okay. So it was just basically the same kit then. I mean, I don't know if you guys are understanding me, but so it's the same kit that you're talking about there then?
Here, I'll show you.
Reverse.
So So let me get to the video.
And see, and for you guys to understand me, like for example, on a real vehicle, right? So you go off-roading, okay? So only the back tires are working, right? So you put it on 4 lows, so basically your 4 wheels are locked. Okay, and that's basically what I'm trying to say. Where I mean, I'm not saying that the wheels will lock on the back.
See how fast my car runs? See how fast my truck turns here? Just wait.
That's with it fully freewheeled, fully open.
It's locked at the rear right now. So I'm actually showing the transmission. I'm showing that I'm using the GT3C, and that's the hacked version I got right now, which multi-channel. So here's the dig right there where I'm pointing it, and it's got a small little servo, and that's what's going to put me into. There's some stuff here, and anyway, I go through the process. I won't bore you with that process right now, but let's go outside, and I actually have it rolling. So follow the link, and you can do it. So here and I did put the Pro steering kit in there. Really makes it different. So this is 4x4 just turning normal, and I can turn very fast with it. And this is how big of a circle I'm using right now. And now I'm actually gonna, I think I lock it up. Let's find out. Because I have the audio muted.
The back wheels are not pushing it.
Oh yeah, the back wheels are free now. So see how
it's turning a heck of a lot faster.
It's turning way faster right now.
Front wheel drive. That's what it is right now. Just front wheel drive. The wheels at the back are free.
Yeah, they're front wheel drive.
Not pushing, so I can turn much faster.
So that's with an SEX10.
Let me put it in big mode.
So now I'm going to put it in dig.
Now the rear is locked. As you can see, I can turn on a dime when the wheels are locked.
And that's pretty cool what you can do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I put the link there up there for anybody that wants to go check it out and learn more about it. It's kind of cool.
Cool. I'm having to reverse everything that I was doing because it won't fit with the giant spur and the giant pinion. There's no way that's gonna work.
You just need a bigger hammer.
I need some gears that I don't own. That's always what you run into to get that ideal ratio. You gotta have a lot of gears.
Oh yeah. So is it because you have the wrong motor mount, or you have to change your motor mount for it to actually fit?
No, it's because it doesn't fit within the range of the motor mount, which makes sense. I mean, I'm trying to fit a spur and pinion on that's this big, which might not look that big in person, but in reality, like that's a large amount of space in a little car, and there's just not enough space to do it. So when you get into that situation, that means your gearing is like you have to buy different gears. I should have a smaller spur, like a 96 tooth would be great, because I was going from a 80, this one's an 80 something, 87 I think, up to a 114. That's a huge jump. Really, I would want to go up like 10 teeth on my spur, and then recalculate. So anyway, no big deal. I was just hoping that I could really get this car like really dialed in for that last race, but no, we got time tomorrow to go and buy new gears.
Think you're gonna have a pretty good turnout for that last race then?
I think so. I mean, last Sunday they're doing back-to-back weeks because they kind of got hit with this news that they're losing the venue. So we did a race last week and it was the biggest turnout ever.
Really?
44 registered drivers came out.
That's not including cars. That's just registered drivers,
that's
right?
Drivers, yeah, and a lot of people run 2 or 3 classes. So yeah,
so yeah, about 120 cars entered, probably.
Close to 100 cars there, 120 cars.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd really like to know if Rockland, if we could use the arena, Jean-Marc Lalonde Arena, if because the arena is not used for anything else other than there's upstairs where there's a hall also they could use. The problem storing the carpet, because I know you guys don't want to remove it from site, so it's got to be rolled up and stored somewhere on site. So I don't know if that's going to be.
Yeah, that is one of the requirements. Is that he whatever place he finds need to be able to leave the track setup stuff there. Ideally set up. I mean, the goal is not having to break the track down every night. But yeah, at least it needs to have storage with the stuff rolled up.
Can you make enough money to pay rent?
That's the hard part, is because Ottawa wants a lot of, well, even in the outskirts, they want a lot of rent. But I really feel like, Tank, yeah, we might be able to make something like Rockland work. I feel like it would be cheaper out here, but the problem is trying to get people from like Kingston to come all the way out here. So I don't know.
But how many people
drive is that?
Kingston are coming up? How many people from Kingston compared to Ottawa?
We got 5 Kingston drivers last week. Usually we get 2. Last time we got 5.
How far of a drive is that from Kingston?
Kingston by the border?
Yeah, I'm thinking like 3-ish hours, maybe less. Probably less.
That's a pretty good drive.
Probably 2 and a bit, maybe.
Yeah, but I think 2. Let me put it on the GPS real quick, and I'll find out.
The drive from me to Scottzilla is probably like 8 hours, Scott?
Probably, yeah.
Well, if we were talking about going from Kingston to Rockland, it probably would be 3 hours.
Yeah, I'll find out real quick.
What's that?
I'm looking it up on the map right now.
Okay.
I mean, from me to Scott, I mean, that shows you how big Texas is.
Yeah,
We're
8
in
hours.
different time zones, and we live in the same state.
Right.
Yeah, because aren't they talking about stopping the clocks changing to avoid some of the problems? And Canada is one of the countries cited as being a problem with it, isn't it? Where you can live like half an hour apart and be in different time zones. Is that right?
Yeah, they're talking about removing it. Yeah.
I'm not aware of a place where we have that, but there likely is. Like in the same province where the time zone changes. I don't know. They must be, but I'm not familiar with it. Doesn't happen around here. Like we're pretty much.
It was one of the countries that was mentioned. It was a problem. I thought Canada was one of the ones that was saying, well, we'd like to change this because it's a problem in certain areas. But,
yeah. Well, here in West Texas, you drive about, I would say, maybe 60 miles east from El Paso, Texas, and the time zone changes on Mountain Time. So 60 miles east, it's like, yeah, it's a different hour.
Yeah, Kingston to Rockland, you're looking at 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay, well, that's not that bad.
I was thinking Cornwall was, that's what we were thinking about or talking about, but it's not Cornwall, it's Kingston.
Yeah, Cornwall would be even less, like an hour and a half for Cornwall.
Yeah. An hour and a half, yeah.
And so those would be our 2 biggest like outside cities that would come. So yeah, I mean, it's doable. The thing is, though, that the guy who runs it doesn't want to have it that far away from his house, I don't think. But if it was a permanent setup, he likely wouldn't care.
Yeah, if it was permanent, I can see he wouldn't care.
Holy cow, we're looking at Canada.
Yeah, we were looking at Canada there.
Isn't that the New York-Canada border?
Yeah, I'll show that again real quick.
The shortest route is 11 hours.
I'm in the Mexico border.
The shortest route is 11 hours and 39 minutes.
Sounds like, I once had a job in London, and it was right in the city centre, just on Brick Lane in the early days of the internet. And we were a .com company, and moved out to Hammersmith. And like, why the hell did we decide to move like an hour away to Hammersmith? And the company lawyer walked in with who found the place. Walked in with a coffee mug one morning. He just rented the place round the corner from his house.
That's where I am right now, way over there. My home is way over there.
Do you know where the RC Basher Boy Arena is? Okay.
Down here, there. It's over here. I actually marked it. El Paso.
El Paso. There you go. Woohoo!
I think I marked it as a spot. I can't remember because I did find it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, look, see, those are the Franklin Mountains. There's Fort Bliss. Those of you guys are in the military. The big, military field.
So it's somewhere. I can't remember where it was, but I did find it. I thought I had it marked, but I don't.
Oh, that's fine. But yeah, El Paso.
El Paso. Good.
Yes, and Donald Trump visited El Paso.
Yeah, has he started building the wall yet?
Yeah, I thought they were gonna be it was gonna be a concrete wall, but I mean they're just restructuring what there is there. They're just putting, I guess big solid metal sheets of steel, on top, so I guess people won't
I heard he was hiring illegal immigrants to build that wall.
Probably is.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's
If they just don't pay me, you just deport them.
You could cut a new deal with China that doesn't involve importing Chinese steel, and they could take the unused Great Wall of China and use that in the US.
Yeah, you could. Or talk to in Berlin and where the Berlin Wall used to be, take parts of that and bring it in.
Hey, Drew, that's another one.
The thing is that wall's not going to stop anything. I mean, they have tunnels here on the border that go right underneath the damn river into warehouses.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and here in my area, there's reserved how do you call it? You know how the saying that the Indians here, were here first, so they own a huge reservation of land, and so they don't divide their land. It's just their land. So in true reality, where Mexico and the United States are, where they're at, there's no border, there's nothing. Okay, and people just can walk through.
I remember years ago, before I moved over here, there was like 3 men arrested in one of the largest tunnels found under the border, and they were walking back across, and they'd got jobs in America, and they were going to prosecute them with like drug smuggling and everything, and in the end they ended up getting off because they weren't able to prosecute them with anything, because they spoke to their employer, and he said, well, yeah, but I didn't know they were here like illegally, and they were walking back home when they got arrested under the tunnel.
Oh, yeah. Crazy.
And they were they proved they had nothing to do with the drugs thing, and they were waiting, and they'd wait until the drug smugglers had finished at night, and then sneak back through the tunnel.
Yeah, I lost my farmer on some land because of that. About 90% of my land is on the other side of the wall now.
Oh, wow.
Bradley RC says they have a new device that can find those tunnels. Yeah, they come out with all kind of different device, and then somebody else is going to come out with something different to beat that device or whatever. It's just crazy what people do.
Now, some of these drones that carry several kilos in weight, and that people can fly them like using the FPV like 8 or 10 miles, can't they? I think can fly them from a distance away.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of got into bird watching because of the stupid camera that John talked me into buying. And
which one was that?
The Canon. And there's a big controversy about the wall because of the natural habitat around here. They're destroying it, putting these walls in. Just another thing.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's well over 2 hours that we've been on, and we're starting to change the subject from politics. So let's start saying goodbye, and we can talk politic offline. Thanks everybody for popping in the chat. True Media says his wife is actually Mexican. I hope she doesn't have to go home every night and you stay in the US. Bradley RC's in the house also. There's a bunch of guys there. Tony from
Good night.
Yeah. So we'll start saying bye. So Green Frog, you say bye.
See you guys. Have a good weekend.
Next is Driftomaniacs.
Night, guys.
John.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
RC Basher Boy.
Take it easy, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Godzilla.
See you guys next time.
Cool. Thanks, guys. And don't forget, leave a thumbs up if you like the video. If you don't like the video, well, put a thumbs down, but tell me why you don't like it. And we'll try to change it next time. See you all next week and maybe actually tomorrow on Steve ODs. Thanks.